No criminal, certainly no one convicted in conjunction with a horrific crime like child sex abuse, no criminal should be given a reward.
In a development that has raised serious questions about the intersection of justice, politics, and high-profile criminal cases, new revelations have emerged concerning the federal government's handling of matters related to convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell. For decades, a fundamental principle in American jurisprudence has held that no criminal, particularly those convicted of heinous acts like child sex abuse, should profit or receive rewards for discussing their crimes.
That man to go meet with Ghislaine Maxwell in prison, do an interview, and then she immediately got a big, very important material benefit. She got bumped down to a minimum security prison where a sex offender like her is not allowed to be unless they get some special dispensation from on high, which apparently she got just after doing this interview with the president's former personal defense lawyer. Special treatment and a reward for an interview about her crimes.
This ethos, rooted in laws like New York's Son of Sam statute from the 1970s, aims to prevent exploitation by tabloids or publishers. Yet, recent actions by the Justice Department under President Donald Trump appear to challenge this norm in the case of Maxwell, who is serving a 20-year sentence for her role in Epstein's sex trafficking operation. Maxwell, convicted in connection with mass child sex abuse linked to Epstein, reportedly received a significant benefit shortly after granting an interview to a high-ranking Justice Department official. This official, who previously served as Trump's personal defense lawyer and now holds the number 2 position in the department, visited Maxwell in prison to conduct the interview. Following this meeting, Maxwell was transferred to a minimum security facility, a move typically prohibited for sex offenders without special high-level approval. Critics argue this constitutes a reward for her cooperation, not from a sensationalist media outlet, but directly from the federal government. During the interview, which was recorded, Maxwell volunteered information about
bluntly. And then listen to how Donald Trump's lawyer responds to that. Listen to the long pause he greets that information with, and then he just leaves it sitting right where it is and moves on to a different topic.
Did I think these guys were coming for that? I really don't. If you met Epstein, there is no way that this cast of characters, of which it's extraordinary, some of you in your cabinet, who you value as your co-workers and you know, would be with him if he was a creep or because they wanted
connections between Epstein and prominent figures in the Trump administration. She explicitly stated that multiple members of Trump's cabinet, individuals she described as colleagues valued by the interviewer, had socialized with Epstein. Despite the gravity of this claim, the Justice Department official did not probe further. Audio from the session reveals a long pause after Maxwell's assertion, followed by a swift change of topic. Maxwell emphasized that these figures would not have associated with Epstein if they viewed him as a creep or sought sexual favors, suggesting their involvement was innocuous. However, she added qualifiers like, "I don't know, I wasn't there, I didn't see it," before the conversation shifted to unrelated matters, such as the last time she was with Epstein. This incident unfolds against a broader backdrop of opacity in the Justice Department's management of Epstein-related files. Trump's name has appeared multiple times in documents from the Epstein child sex abuse case, with reports indicating that FBI agents were tasked with redacting his name. The department has resisted releasing all relevant files and documents, even as Maxwell, the sole living person in prison for Epstein-linked crimes, receives what appears to be preferential treatment. Her claims about Trump cabinet members' involvement with Epstein were met with apparent indifference during the interview, further fueling suspicions of a cover-up. Adding to the scrutiny, Democratic Senator Ron Wyden last week formally requested that the Treasury Department release thousands of Epstein's financial records. These documents, submitted by Epstein's longtime banker J.P. Morgan Chase, detail over 4,000 transactions totaling more than $1.1 billion. The bank flagged these as potential evidence of child sex trafficking and reported them to the federal government. Nearly a week has passed without a response to Wyden's demand, leaving the records in government possession, but inaccessible to the public. In another related move, NBC News reported over the weekend that the Justice Department is actively opposing efforts to unseal the names of two individuals whom Epstein paid in 2018. One received $100,000, the other $250,000. Federal prosecutors have characterized these payments as potential witness tampering and described the recipients as possible co-conspirators in Epstein's activities. Despite a request from news organizations to reveal their identities, the department has petitioned a federal judge to keep the names redacted, citing unspecified concerns. Compounding these developments is the release of previously disputed materials from Epstein's estate, handed over in response to a congressional subpoena. Among them is a bizarre entry from Epstein's birthday book, purportedly signed by Trump. The document features a crude doodle resembling a naked woman, accompanied by an enigmatic handwritten note. The text reads, "There must be more to life than having everything. Donald." "Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is, Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common. Jeffrey. Yes, we do. Come to think of it, Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that, Jeffrey? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. And may every day be another wonderful secret." It is signed Donald J. Trump in type, with a handwritten Donald below. Trump had previously denied the existence of this item, suing the Wall Street Journal earlier this summer for reporting on it. The lawsuit claimed defamation, but the subpoenaed release now confirms its authenticity. The White House has attempted to distance the president from the document, asserting that the signature is not his. However, comparisons with other verified signatures from around the same period, such as a 1997 book inscription to Epstein, a 2000 letter, and a 2006 letter, all bearing Donald in similar handwriting, undermine this defense. Experts and observers note striking similarities, suggesting the signatures match closely enough to cast doubt on the administration's claims. Epstein's estate also provided a photograph showing Epstein holding a large novelty check for $22,500, styled as if issued by Trump. The check's memo line references a girl who is described as fully depreciated. A caption, attributed to a longtime member of Trump's Mar-a-Lago club, implies the payment was for this individual. This image echoes Trump's own earlier statements about his fallout with Epstein after a 15-year friendship. In comments made this summer, Trump claimed the rift stemmed from Epstein stealing a young woman from him, one of Epstein's sex trafficking victims whom Trump said Epstein recruited from the spa at Mar-a-Lago. These disclosures paint a picture of deep entanglements between Trump, his administration, and Epstein's network. The president's name recurs in Epstein documents, his Justice Department shields sensitive information, and personal artifacts suggest a closer relationship than previously acknowledged. References in the birthday note to shared secrets, certain things in common, and enigmas that never age have sparked widespread speculation about their meaning, particularly in the context of Epstein's crimes involving underage victims. The scandal's implications extend beyond personal associations, touching on the integrity of federal institutions. By allegedly rewarding Maxwell for an interview where explosive claims went unexamined, the Justice Department risks eroding public trust in its impartiality. The refusal to release financial records, unseal names, or fully disclose Epstein files suggests a pattern of protectionism. Senator Wyden's push for transparency highlights bipartisan concerns, though the administration's stance remains defiant.